Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a moist, delicious white chocolate cake. This homemade white chocolate cake is a delicious dessert that's perfect for any occasion. It's made with high quality white chocolate. This cake is moist, fluffy, and bursting with flavor. The recipe is easy to follow and requires only a few simple ingredients, so stay tuned to this episode of Cooking with Gerald. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, I'm making one of my favorite layer cakes, a white chocolate layer cake. To get started, we're going to need a few ingredients. Those ingredients are going to be 2.5 cups of sifted all-purpose flour, or you can use cake flour, whichever one your heart desires. A teaspoon of baking soda, a half teaspoon of baking powder, and a half teaspoon of salt. You have your box of Baker's white chocolate, 4 ounces, a half cup of water. What you're going to do with the half cup of water is take it and get it hot and melt the chocolate inside the water. Then you want to let it cool down to room temperature before you actually try to use it. 1 cup of butter that's softened or at room temperature, 1.5 cups of sugar, 3 eggs, a cup of whole full-fat buttermilk, and some vanilla extract. Buttermilk, don't skimp on the buttermilk. The other buttermilk that's not full-fat is not going to taste the same. And when I bake, I only use this one right here, Marburger. This is the only buttermilk that I use. And the only places that sell it here in Atlanta is Walmart and Publix. So to get started, I'm going to go ahead and sift my dry ingredients. All right, set these aside. Also, I have my prepared. Usually I do 3 9-inch or 2 or 3 9-inch, depending on how many layers I want to do. I'm doing 2 8-inch because I think I'm going to cut the labels. I'm sorry guys, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. I think I'm going to cut the layers in half, so I'll have 4 layers. All right, so what I'm going to do now is go ahead and drop my sugar. And my butter. And as you can see with this butter, you don't want it to be too soft, but you don't want it to be too cold either. I can push my finger in there like that. That means that it's perfect. guys see that the sugar and butter have become fluffy. I want to beat it just a little bit longer. Alright, so the next thing I do is add my eggs in one at a time. Scrape the bowl down. Now, a tip with the eggs, what you want to do is to crack your eggs one at a time separately. So in case you get a bad egg, you don't ruin the whole bowl of eggs. Or better yet, don't crack them over the bowl, because you'll ruin your whole batter if there's a bad egg. And I know I do that a lot. That's the habit that I have. So I'm trying to show you guys how to do it the correct way today. Alright, the last thing. All right, so now what you're gonna do is add your melted white chocolate. How soft and fluffy that became. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is alternate my flour and the milk. Beginning with the dry and then ending with the dry. Some milk. All right, so you can add the rest of the flour. And then also my vanilla. And the vanilla extract is actually optional because the recipe I have does not have any vanilla extract in it, but to me, cake just doesn't taste right if it doesn't have the extract. So, all right, so I'm gonna scrape down my bowl. Make sure you're getting down underneath the bottom. That's enough. I'm gonna finish it by hand. Look how velvety and smooth that texture is. See right here, the texture of that right there. That's why you want to make sure you get underneath the bottom because it's not fully mixed. You just want to fold it. Just fold it through. You don't want to create any gluten. That makes the cake tough. And it'll also make it dry. So I just usually go through and fold it. Everything is done. Look at that. How beautiful that batter is. All right, so now let's go ahead and get it in the oven. It's just that simple. I'm a trust the old manual scale. If you buy a scale, I suggest buying a digital scale. I have both, but this is the one that I first bought when I first started baking. And I primarily just use this one to weigh my cakes. All right. I believe I have 3 pounds. All So 1 1/4. Go ahead and make this 1 1/4. This cake rises a lot, so you got to be careful. There you go. So now I'll save the rest. Put it in a different pan. Just want to tap your cake to make sure it's distributed evenly. And then tap it like that to get all the air bubbles out. Okay, so this is going to go in the oven on 350 for about 30 to 35 minutes, and I'll be back. Okay, guys, so I'm back, and these are done. Beautiful golden brown, light and spongy. Look at that. So these need to cool, and I will be back. All right, guys, so the rounds are done. Here they are. I'm going to go ahead and ice this cake. Now, if you like, you can trim all that off. Makes it look a lot neater as far as presentation goes. But I'm not trimming mine because I like the homemade, like grandma, mama and them made type cake vibe. So those will remain intact. And also at the same time, one thing that's great about this too is that it did pretty much bake level. And you want to put a nice, probably like about a 1/2 inch of frosting, 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch layer of frosting, because what this does is it makes it level so that your cake is not lopsided. If you choose not to trim the top. If you trim the top, it's going to be level anyway. And now you have the option of either putting it on this way or this way. I'm going to put it on this way. And as you can see, it is leveled 100%. Also, let me start off by saying too, that I use, with my cake rounds, I usually will freeze them before I frost them, or refrigerate them. Most of the time, I'm freezing them. And the reason being is because they're easier to handle. You don't have to worry about a lot of cake crumbs getting inside of your icing when you're doing a crumb coat, which is what I'm doing now. So this is easier to handle when you have ones that are not either refrigerated or else frozen, they tend to be a little bit more sensitive. But it's all about preference. And my preference is this is the way that I've always made my cakes. And you know what, guys? I just thought about that. This is actually the next day from the time that I actually baked the cake. I had planned on cutting these into in half, each one of these in half, and making a 4-layer cake. And I totally forgot about it, and I just thought about it, but I'll do that next time. And for the recipe, this is buttercream. I have one on the channel. I'll post the link down below. All right, so this is gonna be the crumb coat. What I'm doing now is I'm actually using a hot spatula, which means that you would normally either have like a cup with hot water in it, or with me, I just run it under the hot water and then wipe it off with the paper towel. What this does is it smooths the icing out for you. Or another thing too, if you want to change the consistency of your icing to make it more like a whipped icing, you can do that too. And that will make it easier, much easier to spread. But for me, this is the perfect texture. And the purpose of the crumb coat is to capture any, it's like a thin coating or thin layer of icing. And the reason that you do it is so that it'll catch any crumbs that are coming off the cake. So that when you get ready to frost your cake will look, the icing will actually be crumb free and look beautiful on your cake. All right, so now that I have the crumb coat on, you have two options. You can either put it in the refrigerator for like about 30 minutes. I say about 20 minutes or so that the icing will firm up some. Or you can put it in the freezer for about 5 minutes, which is what I normally do. So I'll be back. Thanks for watching. I hope that you did enjoy the video. Don't forget to go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment below, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to click the notification bell in the top right-hand corner of the screen so you're notified each time that I do upload a new video. Until next time, stay safe.